What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Pro Day Sports Performance Training Near Me podcast. Pro Day is the home of the best speed and agility training Tulsa. If you don't trust that, come check us out. We put up big numbers. My name is Josh Jackson. I'm the head of all training and development that goes on at Pro Day, and I can attest to it. We see some of the greatest numbers out of anybody in the area, and we do it in a way that's fun and encouraging for the athletes. So if you haven't heard about us, if you haven't tried us out yet, or if you have and you just want to talk about us, share us with some friends, talk about us, or come give us a try. We offer a week of training for just $1. So today I want to jump into this podcast and talk a little bit about the times we're going through right now with all of COVID going on. Obviously, COVID is a international epidemic. It's this crazy situation going on. It's affecting the lives of billions of people. With that being said, we get to be face-to-face and in touch with the athlete and student side of everything, which is a little bit different perspective rather than just, the restaurant's closed or whatever. It's my senior year is done. I don't know what it's going to be like going into college. And I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of different athletes on what has changed for them, what's been weird for them, and so on, to get a good perspective. And I thought it would be nice to talk about. So that way, in a time like this, people realize that they're not completely alone on an island, just trying to figure things out on their own. Everybody's in the same situation. So I think that first and foremost, it is a good idea for us to look at this and understand that this is a situation that's going to be in history books at some point in time. This is going to be something that is known generation after generation as the COVID or coronavirus epidemic. And so knowing that, we have to realize that these are uncharted territories. Nobody's going to know the answer, which means nobody has the answer. So you're not alone. Every single person is in the same situation you are, possibly. And so how do we navigate that as an athlete and as a student? So we'll start off talking about how do we navigate that as a student, and then we'll move into the athlete side of things. So as a student, we have a lot of seniors who didn't get to graduate. They didn't get to finish that senior year. It was an awkward senior year. They missed their friends because they had to be in forced quarantine and so on. So there's a bunch of those circumstances. And now we're seeing the transition of these seniors. They're going into college now, and some of them are rushing, and some of them are getting their college date pushed back, and they're going to be leaving home early for after Thanksgiving break, and all these things that are the unknowns of how things are going to work. With times like this, with things that are unknown, the thing I've realized throughout life is it's better just to roll with the punches with a decent plan, but don't be so stuck to your plan that you can't have it ever changing and ever evolving, because it will be, as we've seen with our world. So all of those students out there that are getting things cut short, that are doing things different, yes, you don't get to do the traditional. You don't get to do what has been done in the past, which you might have looked forward to. But if you can take a second, now we're to the point where you got to look at going into school this next year, and if that is college, because I would say that seniors in high school and seniors in college have been the most oddly affected. Not the most effective, but it's been weird because you don't just go back to normal life of, I got to go back to my senior year. You're transitioning into a new life. And so last night I was talking to one of our athletes who is pledging into a sorority, and she's like doing the rush process and all that, and it's like there's video calls and weird things like that they're doing, and it's a little bit thrown off. But I was telling her that it's kind of cool because either A, this could be a one-time thing of just this year, got to experience this different way of doing things, or she could be setting the trend for years to come on how this will be performed. Either way, it's cool. She gets to be a part of something that has never happened rather than doing the same thing that thousands of other people have done, or she gets to be the trendsetter that was the first to do this thing that now is the norm in our society. So either way, looking at stuff in a positive light, looking at how you can enjoy the things that you're doing rather than this sucks, it would have been better the way that it was. You don't know that and you might as well enjoy what you have right now. And if that's the situation you're in, looking at it with positive vibes, a positive outlook is only going to help you enjoy it more as you go through that process. So for the general student or anybody with schooling, roll with the punches with an optimistic outlook, have fun, and realize that you could either be the outlier who got to see everything different, the world in a different vein, or you could be the trendsetter who's going to make this the norm from here on out. So let's move now into the athlete. Talk a little bit about the effects of an athlete, which I would argue are much more severe. I'm regretting saying that now, but with athletes, I feel like there's a little bit more severity than your average student. Now, if you're looking for academic scholarships and scholarships got taken away for academics, things like that, that's another story. But for the athlete who is playing their sport to get college scholarship, to go play at the next level, you have to have athletics in order to make that happen. In terms of, you have to be able to play games, to show, to have film, to send in to coaches, to be able to go try out, all of these things that have been stripped away and are made very difficult now. And that makes the life of an athlete scary, because you don't get 100 shots. You can't just go and say like, oh, it didn't work out here, I'll just enroll in this other school or anything like that, because you can go to school, but in terms of playing an athlete, it's a pretty rigorous program. It's not easy just to say, I'm going to be a college athlete. It takes work, it takes dedication, and it takes time on your craft. And so all these people that have spent so much time on their craft over time, they get to this senior year and everything goes crazy and they don't get to finish their season. I heard this thing about a local school that was going to be playing in the state championship game, has never won a state championship as a school, and the state championship game was canceled. That's devastating, especially as a senior on that team where this is your year, you're going to get a ring, you're going to make it big, and then everything falls apart. Those things are difficult to deal with, let alone on your psyche. And then even when you're looking at the future of trying to figure out what you're going to do, if you don't have that college offer yet, if this soccer season was going to be your breakout season and you were hoping to get some looks during this season, but that wasn't able to happen because soccer season was done for all those people, I don't know the answer. I want to preface by saying that, but I'm going to give you some thoughts I have, because I know that a lot of people are dealing with this. First off, again, recognize that everybody is in the same position as you. All of the other people, unless they had already committed, and you're not the only one who hasn't committed, all of the other people are in the same position as you. So instead of oh, poor me, this is only me, it's happening to a lot of people. So we got to get to the mindset now of how can we make what your dreams of playing college athletics are true? And that's going to take some work on our end. So if you're in that situation, start off optimistic outlook. Turn your mindset around. Second, realize that all these coaches that are doing recruiting, they probably needed some recruiting in order to fill up rosters, in order to get the people in that they needed. They probably wanted a few more guys, a few more girls in there, but they weren't able to get it because of COVID. So realizing that, knowing that everybody's in the same situation, which is the best part about, I guess I say that in a light way, the best part about this virus is we know that one kid or parent or person isn't alone. It's affecting everyone. So we're all on a relatively as equal as it could get, equal playing field with this thing. So with that, know that the coaches are in a similar situation to you. And so we need to be doing our best, doing the things that we can do in terms of rounding up as much film, in terms of getting the things we're doing with all the COVID stuff happening. If you don't have film, get yourself out playing basketball, go play pickup somewhere, go do little things, anything that you can, that you could get some film of, showing that here's me actively working during this time. Because at the end of the day, a coach wants somebody that's hardworking, somebody that's dedicated, and they want all-around athletes, which takes me to my next point, which is get some athletic results in terms of combine results, scouting results, anything like that you can to share with coaches. If you're light on the end of film, and trust me, I've been there, I had very, very little film. I had a JV season, one summer of AAU, which ended up only being one game. Actually, no, sorry, only practice of AAU because the team fell apart, and a varsity season where I didn't get all that much playing time. I had that on my resume and still pushed that in order to get a job playing college basketball. And so with that, we have to look at the pursuit of it. Get what you can, and if what you can isn't that much, that's okay. Use the other resources you have. Come get testing done. We do testing at our facility. Other places do testing as well, but we can do specific testing for you to showcase your athletic abilities. If you can show exponential athleticism in areas that coaches would be concerned about, for example, you have an insanely high vertical, or you're insanely quick, or your change of direction skills are amazing, or your reaction time is great. If you can show all those things, mixed with some footage of you being competent in the sport that it is that you're playing, you're off to the races. And you can start pushing that to the coaches that are in need of people who probably aren't getting anything right now, but please, COVID's killing me, I can't get this, I've got to figure all this stuff out, the sympathy email, rather than, hey, I know times are interesting, here's what I can get for you right now to show you what I'm capable of. I would love to be able to come and play in front of you, whatever that may mean. I would love to do anything else, Zoom call, interview, I would love to send live footage of a workout of me, whatever it may be. I want to do it because I want to have the opportunity to play with or under you. With that being said as well, is that's not a guarantee that any of this stuff is going to work. But if you approach it differently than everybody else, of the optimistic outlook, the I'm doing everything that I can do in the situation that I'm in, and so on, you're going to see probably, I would guess, some decent results from that stuff. If you don't, then that's not when you wave the white flag. You have to keep pursuing. So just because this year wasn't the year, there's plenty of people who take a year off between high school and college. There's plenty of people who work on their craft and then they go and they're jumping from low level to high level. If you should have been a D1 basketball player, go play at an NAIA school, at a Division II, at a JUCO, and work your way up. If you're good, if you're the true athlete, you're going to be able to make things happen. You're going to be able to pursue your love for the game and your career. So communicate with as many people as possible. Don't have too big of an ego. Go talk to anybody that you can to pursue that dream. Get all of the information put together that you can. Game film, stats, combine results, anything that you can think of that might go towards helping you out in the race to get a job as a college basketball player. With that comes perseverance, comes positivity. Stay positive, persevere. If it's not this season, there's still next season. Don't count yourself out at all. You see older guys playing ball all the time, whether it's football, basketball, anything. They have years of eligibility left. They have whatever left. You're not ending your years of eligibility by not being able to play this year. So keep balling out. There's plenty of tryouts that you can go to, plenty of coaches that you can communicate, that you can show up on campus and try out for. If not this season, then the next, and so on. So that was just a little bit of an insight into all the COVID stuff. I say insight, my thoughts and feelings after dealing with multiple athletes on all the COVID stuff. Obviously, we all have goals, we all have dreams. Everybody's been affected by this, so realize that and then try to capitalize on what you can. Don't fall victim to, oh, this is too tough for me, I can't get all this stuff done. Work and find the way that you can make things work, find the ways that you can be successful. For that, that's going to end our podcast. This is the Pro Day Sports Performance Training Near Me podcast. I'm your host, head trainer of Pro Day Athlete Development, Josh Jackson. Thank you all for listening. If you have any questions, or if you're interested in getting a combine, or you're wanting help setting up a portfolio of sorts for sending to coaches, how you should approach them, what you should send to them, hit us up, let us know. We can help you out with that stuff. We can get you on your path to finding somewhere to play and enrich and further your career. That'll do it. I will talk to you all next time. Check you later.